On the same night, on 4 different worlds, 4 doors appeared where no doors had ever been. One in a subway, one in a forest, one in a sewer, one in ruins older than history. I opened mine first. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Quick recap for new friends, I'm Ranan. I've got a time machine in my basement, a grumpy AI named Axiom, and a chicken named Miramba, who believes she owns me. That night, the machine's star map lit up with a sigil I'd never seen, and it was pointing down. Down meant the subway. Last train gone, platform empty, lights buzzing. And in the tile wall I've walked past 1,000 times. A brass door. Old. Warm. Humming. With the exact same sigil from my star map glowing over the handle like a doorbell for the incredibly stupid. Axiom's voice in my earpiece said, quote, "Unscheduled doors are statistically fatal." I said, quote, "Noted," and opened it anyway. Perung Rombreens and outwas the Ugramarlene, side a sign furthered his the Cruxius Lumac. He's a places at instant waker. Warm air. Stone corridor. Lanterns. I stepped in, and behind me, the subway just wasn't. Miramba. If I don't come back, you get the machine. Meanwhile, and I only learned this later, a girl named Arune was walking the forest behind her town when the constellation scar on her wrist lit up like a runway. A door stood between 2 trees, freestanding. Brass. She circled it twice. There was no behind it. Arune's the careful one. She checked it, sketched it, tested it with a pine cone. Okay, careful-ish. The scar pulsed brighter the closer she got. The same pulse her star friend left behind when he went home. Some invitations don't come in envelopes. Some are written in your skin. She whispered something to the night sky first. She does that. Talks to somebody up there she trusts. Then, she trusts. Then, she pressed her scarred wrist to the sigil, and the door swung open, onto warm stone and lantern light. She looked back once at the forest. Then she stepped through. Under a city on a 3rd world, the champion chef of the Iron Walk district was down in the sewers, chasing a noise. Her name's Vasha. She is roughly the size of kindness itself. The old brick down there was humming. She said later it hummed like a walk about to sing. She found it behind a curtain of steam. A brass door in the old brick, warm as a stovetop. Most people would run. Vasha knocked. Politely. Twice. Then she laughed. This big, rolling laugh, and told the door she hoped whoever was cooking on the other side had enough for guests. She went home first. That's the part that kills me. Packed the satchel. Knives, spice tins, the folding wok, dumplings for the road, left a note for her people at the restaurant. Then she opened the door. Vasha doesn't walk into adventures unprepared. She caters them. And way out on the edge of everything, a survey officer named Annika stood in ruins, on a planet with no name. Ruins. Her ship's scanners flagged as, quote, geometrically impossible. A vanished civilization. Glyphs on every stone, and one intact doorway, still warm after 10,000 years. The moment she touched the arch, her ship lost her signal. Total silence. The first time in her life that nobody was listening. The silver filigree at her temples prickled. Those glyphs weren't decoration. They were language, and some deep down part of her implant could almost read them. Almost. So she did what Annika does, logged everything, out loud, calm as a checklist, to a friend she's never once seen. Survey note, door, impossible, warm. Probability of return, unknown. Proceeding anyway. If this is a mistake, it will at least be a well-documented one. And she stepped through. Here's what none of us knew yet. The maze was moving. Every corridor rearranged itself the second we looked away. Doors slid past like train cars. My subway exit? Gone. I turned around and got a brand new wall. A wall so new it still felt smug about it. I did the mature thing. I ran in circles yelling hello at architecture for roughly an hour. Every corridor was warm stone and brass. Hundreds of doors, thousands, every shape, round ones, tiny ones. One that was definitely breathing. And then I heard footsteps that weren't mine. 4 sets of footsteps. 4 corridors. One big lantern-lit hall dead ahead. On the walls? Shadows. A giant one. A small, quick one. One walking way too calmly for the situation. My brain said, monsters. My brain is not a reliable narrator. I decided on a surprise attack. I came around that corner at maximum teenager flying tackle, full battle cry, and a hand the size of a dinner plate just caught me. Out of the air. One-handed, Vasha held me up like a kitten she'd found in the rain, looked me over, and said, hungry? You fight like you're hungry. The other 2 arrived to find me dangling. Arune, wrist glowing, trying not to laugh. Failing completely. Annika, scanning all of us like paperwork she had not approved. 4 strangers. 4 worlds. 1 impossible hallway. Introductions were awkward. Mine were conducted upside down. In the middle of the hub stood a pillar. A keystone taller than Vasha, carved edge to edge with the same glyphs from Annika's ruins. Her filigree lit up the moment she touched it, silver lines answering amber. She stood there a long time. Then she said, it's a rule. It's the rule. She read it out loud, word by careful word. Every door leads to a world. You cannot leave a world until you have helped someone there. 1 genuine deed per world. Kindness is the key that turns every lock. Silence. Then me. So it's a school. Annika. It's a test. Same thing. No exit. Endless doors. Home. Home 100 worlds deep from here, maybe more. It hit everybody differently. Arune went quiet. Annika went logical. Vasha started unpacking food, which I'd learn is how she worries. Me? I said it out loud. I can't believe I already missed the chicken. Then came the weirdest moment of the entire night. Arune whispered to the air. You seeing this, Hiantu? Harun Heartbeat and Sovais explained, Hiantu. I froze. Because that's my word. My invisible friend. Annika's head snapped up. You know Hiantu? Vasha, very quietly. I cook for Hiantu. 4 worlds. 1 same secret friend. You. There was a hearth in the hub, cold for maybe 10,000 years. Vasha claimed it like a queen returning from war. Folding wok, 3 spice tins, road dumplings, and whatever the maze's little spring was willing to contribute. The maze gave us a fire. Vasha gave us a kitchen. And that first meal did what first meals do. Arune told us about a star she raised and let go home. Annika explained she'd left a wee once and wasn't afraid of leaving things, which is exactly what scared people say. I named the hearth Base Camp. Strangers at the first bowl. Less by the last. On the far wall, one door had started to glow. Riveted. Iron. Round like a porthole, with a sigil shaped like a ship swallowing its own sky. The maze had picked our first world. I named the door Big Rivets. Nobody voted for that. It's fine. It wasn't a democracy. It was my joke. So that's how 4 strangers ended up sharing a fire in an impossible hallway. Tomorrow, we open Big Rivets. Together. But first, Hiantu. Since apparently you've been friends with all of us this whole time, answer me this. If one door appeared in your city tonight, would you open it? Comments. Go.